Hello Cancer, Cancer Rising and Cancer Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting February 27th, 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, I did put up your monthly horoscopes for March already. They're on a special playlist on the main channel page. You can check that out. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what's going on with your astrology this week? Well, in the beginning of the week, we've got Mars in your 10th house of career, forming a very strong angle to Jupiter, currently retrograde in your 4th house. And this is actually a really nice connection, because this, I'm kind of paraphrasing this as the cavalry coming in, backup coming your way, and it's either coming through, it looks like it's like a career bit of backup or a work bit of backup or some kind of financial backup that's coming to support you and your family, or to perhaps help you in a situation where we are trying to secure some kind of financial backup for the home and home economics, or maybe pull off some kind of big stunt or big ideal or big goal that you may have had for a long time when it comes to your living situation. And this could come in the form of some extra money coming through work, whether it be a raise or a new hire, or maybe even somebody sticking their neck out for you. If you're trying to find a way to procure some funds or to secure a higher pay or a higher monthly take-home, this kind of angle shows that there's another person willing to bend over backwards for you to get it. Later on in the week, we've got Mercury conjunct Neptune in Pisces in your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, your spiritual life, as well as long-distance travel, and basically anything to do with sort of expanding your horizons. Now, the challenge that comes with this is that Mercury and Neptune coming together is always a murky place to be. And I've been saying, the last few weeks I've already been noticing a lot of folks are having a really hard time, processing information. And when we can't process information, we can't articulate messages and information either. And so there may be some challenges going on in this area with either school or possibly, in college or university, assessing your future as far as a type of coursework, or maybe even this is going on in a spiritual group that you are in, and we may be thinking it's time to find something more grounded, more stable, something that seems to have its act together a little bit better. And you will be able to find it. I just think that it might take a little bit after Mercury moves away from Neptune, closer to the beginning of next week, for that to happen. And the same can apply for perhaps even a travel plan, or even any kind of legal procedure you're in. We may have to move on to something that's a bit more organized, a bit more stable, and again, a little bit more put together. So what's going on with your cards then this week? Well, we've got the card of the Ragnarok. Alright, and the Ragnarok is kind of like this deck's version of the Tower card. It's understanding when something needs to go, it needs to end, it's not working anymore, and if we're just going to ignore it, we're kidding ourselves. And this could be, a big deal, because this is your choice, this is your spiritual advice, okay? So if something needs to leave your life, you let it go. When something is proving that it is not up to snuff, whether, again, it's, like we just talked about with the astrology, it could be talking about a school program, it could be talking about a spiritual group, it could be talking about, maybe an internet, plan or an advertising or marketing plan or something along those lines. If something's not working, we gotta let it go. Because the Ragnarok card can say we need to stop ourselves and again stop others from beating a dead horse this week. And in a lot of ways, initiating that final ending, that final punctuation, is going to come with that huge sigh of relief. Have you ever quit a bad job in your life and that first hour just feels fantastic? It's the kind of energy we got going on with this card. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Star card upright. Beautiful card for work and money, because the Star card upright talks about sealing a deal or sealing some kind of plan of action that is going to have a long-term shift or a long-term payout improvement over time. Now, the thing about the Star card upright is kind of saying, okay, we might not be able to cash in on this immediately this week, whether it's start that job, collect that check, you know, start that project, finish it up, submit it, whatever. But the Star card upright is saying that this week is going to have its absolute fair share of, you know, of good news as far as what the rest of this year is going to look like. And it is night and day compared to what we've been doing since 2016. In fact, the Star card upright could indicate even an opportunity to promote or upgrade your status or your financial, you know, again, your take-home, what you profit with on a monthly basis. And again, we're getting that all laid out this week, possibly to go into effect as we get into later on in the month. For your communications with air, we do have the Queen of Swords upright. So this is an area that talks about your friends, your relatives, the others in your life. And the Queen of Swords upright could indicate a wake-up call coming to you from, you know, a friend or a relative that you know you can count on to, let's just say, they're no BS. They do not BS. When you know, they speak the truth. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who's not afraid to share some, you know, some difficult news, or at least bring something to your attention that we might not necessarily feel ready or comfortable with dealing with, but we do need to listen. Alright, now the Queen of Swords, you know, most likely somebody with a lot of air sign energy to her, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, could just as easily be a male, but, you know, I'm holding a queen here. And with the Queen of Swords, like I said, this is a no BS type of person. So what we have to do is we got to make sure that we do take her words seriously. Whether or not we act on them, we've got to understand that she's not making anything up, and she is doing us the honor of not sugarcoating it or diluting it and making it useless. This is actually important information. This wake-up call could be about another person, or a wake-up call could be about, you know, maybe even a situation that you are in, you know, in your neighborhood, with maybe even a company that you're a member of, or somebody you have an account with, but we do need this information in order to make some sound decisions about how we're dealing with said situation. For your challenge this week with fire, we have the Knight of Cups upright. And this card's kind of interesting as a challenge because this card itself isn't really bad, it's actually a very good card. But with the Knight of Cups as a challenge, I'm kind of feeling like there is going to be somebody around you who's really, really trying to do right by you, really, really trying to do sweet by you, really going out of their way to try and show their affection, their kindness, their generosity, but it's just feeling like they're crowding you a little bit, because sometimes the Knight of Cups as a challenge can seem a bit smothering. So we want to make sure that we are not putting ourselves in a position to, like, hurt them by putting up some boundaries or asking for our space. They may not understand right away. But the thing about this Knight of Cups is that their feelings, their kindness, and their generosity, again, are genuine. It may not feel like they're doing it at the right time or place, and we don't want to accidentally lash out on somebody who's got the purest of intentions. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Page of Wands, reversed. This card can indicate you, Pisces, not Pisces, you Cancer, you guys, I'm putting you on notice here. If you are not feeling something, okay, whether it's a date, an idea that your partner had, something you've already said you were going to do, you got to do better than just ghost and bail out, okay? And I'm talking about you right now. Again, I don't sugarcoat, I could be the Queen of Swords. You know, because the Page of Wands reversed is talking about a temptation to bail or a temptation to flake or drop something in a way that could be seen as a bit dishonorable or perhaps inappropriate. And you may not want to do this. You may have said you were going to do this, you know, for your sweetheart's sake. You may have said you wanted to go there, you know, for your date's sake. You may have agreed to go on a date with somebody. You're not feeling it with them anymore. Okay, the Page of Wands reversed is saying you can get out of this situation, absolutely. But, you know, this, you know, or, you know, you can tell your partner, I don't want to do this. Or you can, you know, you can let yourself off the hook with your partner, no problem. But the Page of Wands reversed is saying don't do it in a way that's, again, that's too sneaky or flaky. Because it's not a good look, but also at the same time, it might be something that causes more problems down the road. You know, we don't want this to go on, like, a list. So I feel, ultimately, romantically, this week could be actually very good, because this is the only bit of news that we're getting. But I would also say that with the Page of Wands reversed, if you do need to walk away from something, that's fine. If you need to be let off the hook and, you know, just, you know, kind of tell your partner you can't do something that you said you thought you'd be able to do, that's fine. But also, at the same time, do it right, do it well, okay? So that is your forecast, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, remember you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.